recording, like right now.
Yeah, just start recording.
Because we've been stalling for too long. But we said we'd start at like 12:15, and now it's 12:28.
Yeah, it'll just go a little bit later. It's fine.
Hey,
I'm not going
it's
anywhere.
the sign of a podcast when the host just starts, fucking stalling.
Yeah, we've just been talking.
Yeah.
We're just cool guys.
Anyways, yo, welcome to the Jepcast. This is the second one. Huge. We made it past the pilot episode. That means it's going to go on for at least 17 more seasons, and no one is going to watch it at the end. So.
Yes. Views on our first one were huge.
Huge.
Absolutely massive.
And if
We're
I
getting
know
6 million views
anything,
right now.
if I know anything about the first episode and the YouTube series, it gets the most, so it's only downhill from here.
True.
But, maybe it'll be up.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll be like, I don't know, Apex, where it gets better. I don't know. Probably a better example.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah.
We will have like a very deep like dip in views and streams and popularity, but then we'll get really popular in like a year or two.
Yeah. It'll be a lot better in a year. So, if you stick from now until a year later, that means you're going to say that you were here before it was cool. So, stay with me. Come on. I know the viewer retention wasn't that much, but come on. Watch past 2 minutes. It gets better, I swear.
Yeah. So what we got on the docket for this week?
Well, we got a few things, The good thing about the information age is that a lot of stuff happens, so I have a lot of stuff to talk about. But do you have anything you want to talk about?
Well, maybe. But real quick, I'm gonna go put some socks on because it's like freezing cold in my room.
Oh,
Give me a second.
well,
Alright, we're good, right?
not again. For some reason, I expected this. He just kind of has this little thing he does where he poofs and it's like a cartoon and he's gone. But whatever. I get it. It's getting cold, especially where I am, where it's like usually warm around most of the year, and then gets to winter, and then there's just the one day where it becomes fucking really cold. And I get it. That's happened here, and I guess that means it's Christmas season because, Halloween happened. Next day, time for Christmas. And yeah, it was that. Okay. I just thought about this because it was the day after Halloween, and I was driving to school, right? And the radio came on. I forget what channel it was, but it's like, ooh, our 24/7 Christmas music station is now open on November 1st, the day after Halloween. Like, come on, man, come on. There's a whole month between then and December. I get it on December 1st. I get it. It's the festive season, but there's a whole month in between there. I can't go that long. I can't keep up the festiveness for the whole 2 months. I just can't do it. I don't know if I'm just not buying into like the again Christmas. 'Cause it feels, I don't know if it's because I'm growing up or it's just been bad recently, but I feel like Christmas has been a lot like very commercialized in a way because 24/7 Christmas music. They're showing Christmas things like 2 months before Christmas. They're even putting out like advertisements like, oh, you should buy your Christmas presents now so they get there because of all the COVID delays or whatever. I don't know. It just feels bad. I don't get it. But I guess there are some people out there who do, because companies do this for a reason. They wouldn't do it if they weren't getting anything out of it. And so, I don't know. I guess there's like a huge base of people who are like, fuck yeah, Christmas after Halloween. But where's the Thanksgiving hype? I guess it's only really like some parts of America and not anywhere else. But come on, man. Turkeys are cool, man. Come on. You getting me? No? Alright. Well, I suppose this is why I'm running a podcast with a 2-minute viewer retention and not at the top of Amazon or something. Anyways, speaking of topical stuff, since I guess we're just getting out all the random stuff out of the way, random riffraff. Daylight savings time. I think that's happening now or soon. Now or tomorrow. I forget which. But it's happening sometime. It just feels like, I don't know, daylight saving time, another thing I don't get, just like the Christmas. I don't really see how it helps. It's confusing for me until I learn spring forward fallback, which I'm still like 10% sure is not right. I could just be speaking lies right now. A lot of people want to end it, but for some reason, the federal government is like stubborn, I guess. Doesn't want to end it, and it just makes no sense to me. You know, time, the way you structure time, it's a made up concept. I'm going crazy right now. I'm spinning out conspiracy theories, but you know, it doesn't need to go forward an hour and go back an hour. I was reading this news article on daylight savings time just because it came up, and it said it was happening recently or like soon. So I was like, oh, why not? And it brought forward like some of the data of like the day after the daylight saving time. Showed that like car crashes, they actually happen more often instead of less often. Like the people doing daylight saving times want to like push forward. They're saying like, oh, it's reducing crime or whatever. But because people either lose an hour's sleep, I don't know how it works when you gain an hour's sleep. I don't think they brought up that data. Could work there. But cherry picking the data for the other one, it people are more tired, they lose their hour's sleep, and you know, they're on the tollway or whatever, and they just don't see that car, and then they turn and then boom, crash. Unfortunate. Daylight saving times. Just one of those weird, I guess. I don't know if I would say archaic. I don't think it really helps that much in the past either. But it's just one of those things that happens, and I guess it's neat when you gain the hour's sleep. But when you lose it, damn, it sucks. Anyways, daylight saving time. It's one of the fucking random things. Uh, anyways,
Oh,
I
did I
guess.
miss anything?
Oh, Henry, do you know when daylight saving times is?
I think it's at like 2 a.m. and then it
Tonight?
jumps back. Yeah, yeah, it's tonight.
Damn. I guess I'll get more sleep. Wait, that's awesome. Wait, I'm
Yeah,
on board actually. I love
yeah.
daylight saving
Daylight
time.
savings time in fall is great, but then 6 months from now,
Yeah.
we will hate it once again.
What is that? Is that like near exam season?
It's like
Actually, wait, no,
no,
never
it's
mind.
like
I don't
spring
care about
break.
that.
It's like spring break. So
Okay, okay. So not for a while. Don't have to
yeah,
worry. I get
it's
my
the
one
end of
extra
daylight
hour
savings
sleep
time.
on a weekend.
Hmm.
Awesome. Well, got any got any topics, Henry?
um, well, I was looking at my my taskbar and I saw that Valorant was open. Do you have any opinions on Valorant, Mason?
Valorant. Well,
Yeah,
I was gonna go
popular
into D
shooter
and D
game
then
right now.
Valorant, but we can do Valorant then D and D. I'm down with you.
Completely up to you. It works out though because I'm actually gonna go pee.
Oh, well.
Yeah,
God damn it.
be right back.
You and your waterfall bladder. Happens
I
every
drink
time.
so much liquids.
So, oh my god. Too much liquids. I'm telling you. He just chugs whatever liquid he's doing. It's crazy. It's crazy. He's demented. Anyways, Valorant. I was talking to a little bit on the last podcast. And, you know, there's a huge update over the week. You know, we can talk about the esports stuff later. I do want to get into that a little bit. But the actual game received a huge update. The new hero that they're releasing with this act got delayed 2 weeks. Like, I think it was visual, like clarity or something. Like didn't, they haven't made him like how they wanted to express his like abilities or whatever. I don't know. He looked pretty decent in the trailer. Um, but hero got delayed, and then on top of that, they really haven't changed the game a whole lot. And I get that the meta is in a good place right now. It's not overly unbalanced. It's usually pretty balanced. There's some agents who are a lot stronger than others, but we can overlook that for a little bit because there's still a lot of strong agents at the top, which is generally what you want. There are a few opinions I have on jet opping, and I guess I would say a lot of how some characters are a lot stronger than others, like Viper. It's kind of a lot better than Omen right now. Just if I'm speaking my facts to you, which are non opinions and they're facts. But come on, man. I just want to see some change. I look, I know there's some games who have been going on for a long time. Like I guess we could say like CS:GO or Melee, where their meta is pretty well, not CS:GO. CS:GO changes. Melee, their meta is pretty stagnant. Same characters at the top, not receiving any updates, and it's still going strong. I could say right now, they have their own like troubles they're dealing with Nintendo, but the game itself is in a really good state right now, and I guess it always will be because no one's gonna change it. But I don't want that to happen to like Valorant. I want I want when the new agent comes in. I want this huge like, oh, the game's really different now. Oh, I want to come back and try this new agent who's a lot better, like they did with Viper. I don't want to come back and see that they changed like the fucking right click once, and I don't even remember what else they did. Probably bug fixes or observers for champions, which they have coming up. Which I guess is why they're not changing up the meta a lot. They want to keep it the same for champions so that pros don't really have to change it up a lot. And I hope they will change it after champions at least a little bit. I don't know, if I can give Omen like an ult that kills everyone on the map immediately. Do something crazy. I don't know. Because I was thinking a little bit about just metas in games. I was thinking about what Destiny 2 did. Because, they in Destiny 2, you have a bunch of guns that you can use. And they had this problem where they introduced, I think it was pinnacle and slash ritual weapons that were just really good. They were legendary weapons, which meant that you could have that and an exotic, and they were just a really strong combo. And a lot of those guns were just like the best guns of their archetype. And like, it wasn't really worth it to run a lot of other things. And they tried nerfing them a little bit, but they're still really good. So what they did, but I think this is what they did just to get rid of those guns, is they introduced sunsetting, where the cap the power of those guns, so you couldn't use it in like the end game content, and that worked because it just cycled out a bunch of guns. But that was also bad because it was sunsetting, and we hate sunsetting in this podcast. But then they removed sunsetting, and how they were doing sunsetting is they were kind of like each new guns they introduced in a season, they those were like the max power cap, and then it went like the next ones, like the guns from a few seasons back, were phased out. It was like this cycle, and with each season they had also like different mods where they buffed different guns, they gave them different roles, they allowed them to just be a lot better than other guns. And that kind of like rotating meta, actually, I really liked it a lot. When I was like grenade launchers, now it's fusions, I think. But they just gave one like archetype of gun like a very good niche in the meta. And so it kind of moves it a lot, and I like that. Now, I wish there's more stuff like that happening with Valorant and like other games in general, because change is cool. I'll be real. I like seeing the shiny new thing and saying, wow, that's so cool. I will play this now. And so, yeah, this is me talking to the right devs, because as we know, they are all avid listeners of the Mason podcast. Come on, man. Please give Omen the ult that just kills everyone on the map, instead of just being able to go anywhere. Because I just want to be able to use his ult and feel like I got something out of it. Because I don't. I don't feel like that. And maybe I'm just bad. Which is probably the truth. But, we get there, we get there. Anyways, that competitive esports scene in Valorant kind of weird right now, cause okay, there's a Twitch leak a while ago which leaked the earnings of a bunch of the a lot of Twitch streamers, and some people were looking through it, and I noticed with like the Turkish Twitch streamers, there's kind of a weird thing going on because they're getting a lot of donations, even when they're like really small channels, and so kind of uncovered this. I think it was like a stealing credit cards kind of scheme where they donated with stolen credit cards, and then the streamer would give back some of that. It wasn't like direct donation, it was like using one of Twitch's like donation currencies, bits as they call them. And it was kind of messed up. But some of the Turkish Valorant pros got caught up in this scheme. Pros like CNED, crazy crazy Turkish Valorant player, other Valorant pros, and that I feel I feel like it's kind of scary because pros, I wouldn't have expected them to get caught up in this. He's part of Ascend, which was in the last Valorant, like Valorant, I think it was Masters Berlin, the last big Valorant tournament international, and they did pretty well there. I wouldn't say pretty well, they did really well. And now to get caught up in this and jeopardizing their spot at like their shot at champions. I don't know if they're in champions. I need to check that. But I don't know. They're in the running at the very least. And now jeopardizing all that for some money with whatever, I don't know, he said like he was threatened to with like whoever's doing the credit card of taking his channel down by like donating so much. But I don't know. Whatever his motivations were, getting money or he was being threatened. Look, it's kind of a stupid thing to do. But what do I know? I'm not getting thousands of dollars in donations on Twitch. And I'm also not a Valorant pro. So, it's either or. So, nice segue. Speaking of video games, I can just go anywhere I want with this. Granted, if it's within video games. But let me talk about a video game that I've been playing recently. I don't want to say playing recently. It's like it's the wrong impression that I'm just playing it for like a little bit. Let me do some fact checking real quick. Some little knowledge bombs. I've been playing Stardew Valley recently. I've been grinding Stardew Valley recently. I've put, I think, 36 hours within the past, like, I don't know, it started on maybe Monday or Tuesday? I don't know, it's bad, let me tell you, it's a bad look. I played Stardew Valley for like 8 straight hours before this podcast. I was playing like 10 minutes before we started. That's how bad it is. And it's just a good game. You can't blame me. It is a good game. There's someone who is listening to this podcast who's playing this game right now. It's just really it's fun. There's a lot of things you can do, a lot of different like play styles. I was inspired to play it by watching one of my friends play it, and I was like, oh, I should get back into this. Because even though I have 166 hours in this game, which is including the 36 hours I put in recently, I haven't really gotten that far in the game. Because I got the game a long time ago. I was like a couple computers back, so I played it on one computer, then I switched to another computer, and I lost all my save data, and I switched to this computer and lost all the save data. So I've never really had like a long, ongoing farm that lasted a while, because I always got to like maybe the furthest was the first winter of year 1. And I never really got that far after that. Now I'm on the first spring year 2, and like the middle of it or something. Let me tell you, I'm grinding and it's fun. I'm doing this thing. Well, I guess I don't know if it's just like a funny bit I'm doing, or it's just the way I like to play the game. But I'm just not talking to any of the villagers, which I guess some people would call a travesty. And I'm just doing the parts where I find fun, like getting shmoney and going down to mines doing all that kind of shit, making a nice looking farm. Sigma grind set is what I would refer to it as, the Sigma farmer grind set. That might be a weird kind of impression because I'm not actually being a Sigma and like I don't know beating up women or something. I don't know what Sigmas do nowadays, but it's a fun time. I just had my first okay, so I've planted like 600 not radishes, rhubarbs, and then I sold them on it. Selling all your crops, oh, it feels so good. Oh my god, I just love games like that. I guess that's a very broad thing to say because you might think, oh, he's thinking of farming games, but I'm talking more in the vein of like games made by smaller developers, like indie games, and like I think there's like a ranking this system they use within games or whatever, like AAA. Pretty sure there's like a double A and there's like smaller. I guess there would be like single A. I don't know how that works. That was kind of a weird thing to go off of. But just smaller games, like indie games in general, there a lot of them are just really good because I feel like a lot of AAA games nowadays, maybe they're not how people or some people say, oh, they're formulaic, oh, they're all the same. They're not really, but a lot of them do feel similar. Like I can definitely tell that throwing they used to be throwing like darts at a board, but now they're just throwing darts at a board and it's like one genre of game and they're like, oh, I wonder what genre I'll make this time. Oh, the fucking I don't know the actual thing for it. It's like third person action game, whatever. Oh, again, look at Ghost of Tsushima or God of War or something like that. Not the same game, but you can see the similarities. But a lot of these indie games, they're crazy. They're demented. They're outside of the box. They're outside of the system. Sigma games, you could call them. And basically, a lot of them are fun. They're short, a lot of them are, but a lot of them are great times. A lot of them, of course, blah blah blah. But they're just fun times. Like let's say, let me do some quick research by scrolling down my games list. Take Katana Zero for example. Fun. I'm just gonna keep saying fun all over again, am I? Because that's what all these games are. They're really enjoyable experiences. I found like a lot of smaller indie games because I guess like FNAF, they're like don't have too much on the gameplay side. Not saying that Katana Zero has that, but they like to go into lore a lot, and they can't have this huge overarching story with like crazy cutscenes and branching. I guess a lot of them have branching paths, but like 50 different endings. Like a lot of them don't have like the budget or the time to do that. So they go into lore, and something like Katana Zero's lore, I think, is great. Its story is great too. Uh, I guess FNAF lore. FNAF isn't really like an indie game though anymore. Really, technically an indie game because it started like that, but it's like making so much money. I don't know. The FNAF lore was cool at the time that it came out. It's kind of convoluted now. There's a video on my channel that you can watch about the FNAF lore as of I think 1 year ago from now. I don't know what they've added, but they surely have added something. Because Security Breach is coming out soon. Has that come out? No, no, it must come out soon. I don't think it's come out yet. Cause I feel like I would have seen on my recommended a video of like fucking, I don't know, Markiplier playing it? I don't know. I don't know why I'd get a video of Markiplier on my recommended when I've never had him on my recommended ever, but maybe he'll show up one day when he plays FNAF Security Breach and uh Michael Afton has like I don't know, murdered 50 more kids or something? I don't know. No, that wasn't Michael, that was William Afton. I'm just acting a fool up in here. Michael Afton is his son. There we go. I know some things. Hopefully that wasn't wrong. I need to watch the video again. But, you know, hopefully my knowledge hasn't waned. Dwayne The Rock Johnson. It was dwindled. Was the word I was looking for. Actually, I think I was looking for waned. Then I did dwindled and waned. Yo, speaking of Dwayne The Rock Johnson,
I heard that.
you you a big fan of Drive?
That song with Dwayne The Rock Johnson in it?
You big fan of Power?
I hmm.
We stay hungry.
Are you gonna sing out the whole song on the
We
podcast?
devour. No, because I don't
Alright.
know anything for the Dwayne verse.
Okay, perfect.
I,
Because I don't think anyone else does either.
I also okay. I did listen to the whole song at some point. I did kind of like some of the verses before Dwayne,
Really?
but it's also just Dwayne the Rock Johnson singing a verse. Like, come on, man.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like it'd be good and bad. Good for the, because it goes so hard, and then bad because it for me at least, hearing Dwayne The Rock Johnson's voice in a song is just like it pulls me right out of it.
Yeah, I guess
Like
it's
I
like,
lose the experience completely, and I just start thinking about how funny it would be for him to be like singing this live or something.
yeah, I guess we're buying into the blatant consumerism and I guess the capitalist system that he's, I guess,
Yeah, but I'm a
going
consumer, so I
through.
don't mind.
Yeah, and I guess this is completely the opposite of what I was saying about fucking Christmas in November before, but he's Dwayne The Rock Johnson, okay?
He is Dwayne The Rock Johnson. That's so true.
He was in Fast and Furious. He's so cool.
Yeah. Speaking of consumerism, have you played any D&D recently, Mason?
D&D. Well, thanks for doing the segue for me, Henry.
Yeah, I'm very good at that. I'm also very good at leaving.
Yeah, you're very proficient at it. Oh, I was expecting a crazy excuse, but you know, he's just so good at it, he can just do it all the time. But anyways, D&D. Woo, love that. Thanks, Henry, for the easy segue. I was playing D&D recently, as you do when you run, well, not run, when you're part of a D&D campaign. You usually do it, but that was a stupid sentence. Anyways, we did D&D on Halloween, so it was kind of like a cool, a fun, wacky, scary D&D. If not for the stuff we threw at us, it was for just the fact that we almost died several times. That made it extremely scary, I think. But yeah, okay. Halloween D&D. We put sheets over the windows so that it would be a little bit darker, but then they fell down halfway through, so it didn't matter. We put candles on the tables, lit. The DM wore a cloak. It was cool. I brought a sword. It was the atmosphere was set before. And okay, let me run you through. If you're listening to the last one, you would know the story, obviously. But we're trying to go to this magical city so we don't get killed by the several people who are chasing after us. And to get there, we're trying to get to the fastest route. Because, who wouldn't go through the fastest route? The fastest route is through a forest, which we didn't know it at the time, but it's kind of, I guess, cursed by. Let me try and remember the name. Jabbar Sag or something. Something stupid that I made a joke about the second part of his name. But anyways, I digressed. God of like beasts or whatever, wild beasts. So it was scary. First night there, werewolves, dire wolves attack us. And well, it wasn't really a challenge because we kind of messed it up, but it set the tone, I guess, for what would face. And so we kept going through. We were a little bit more on edge because we got attacked during the night. Put an alarm around the campsite. You know how it is. And let me try to remember the events. Let's see. Attacked. Next thing we did. Oh, I found a shrine to a god. Mitra, the big. He's basically like the big G god, capital G. Everyone loves him. He's like the god of good and just is awesome and is really cool. And so, me, my character being, I guess, a man of Mitra, I wanted to give an offering to this statue in the middle of nowhere. So I walked up and I stepped on this bear trap. And not only was it a bear trap, it was a bear trap covered in feces. Like, come on, man. Not scary. It's just gross. And so I did end up offering to Mitra, but fucked up. And we continued on from that. Made sure to clean the bear traps, whatever. And we were in this forest for I'd say about a week. Each night, we set up the campfire, had alarm spell, and every night, this was really cool of the DM. I think it was really good. It set the tone, set the atmosphere. It was scary. I would basically see the glimpse of like eyes, like just beyond the campfire, just beyond the alarm spell, of like wolves just kind of staring in, and like little ravens on like the trees on the branches, and they're like talking to each other, and they were like doing, I guess, really spooky things. And one night, uh, an owl tried to come into our camp, and it poked a hole in uh, one of our players' water skins, so that they had no water. And luckily, there's a stream nearby, so we went and we filled up our thing. We drank out of the stream. Turns out, stream poisoned. That sucks. I'm a paladin, so I was immune to disease, and I could just heal the disease, but it would have been really scary, especially what came after. Because what came after is we came up on a battleground of a lot of like hillmen and soldiers and whatever. And this is nothing new. Let's be honest. We've in our journey we've seen a lot of battlegrounds just like these. So we weren't like scared of going up and messing up with anything. But we were looking around. We found a place where a man had crawled out and wrote like the signal or like the sign of like the god Jabbar Sag or whatever that I mentioned before. And we crushed it out because we hate evil deities. We're a good party, yeah. We go back to the gravesite or battleground, and our one of our party members who was a necromancer was like, I wanna find some spears for my skeletons so they can do spear things, hit people's spears. You know how it is. But surprise, surprise, haunted battleground with, I think it was wraiths, specters, and shadows. There's like 3 wraiths, 4 specters, 4 shadows, or something crazy like that. But it was bad, let me tell you. It was bad for us. I was actually doing really good because I was an Asmar and I'm resistant to necrotic, so I wasn't like taking any damage. But 3 people in that fight almost just died there. Like there are 3 people on like 1 health. One person went down, and these are wraiths. They reduce your maximum HP. Shadows reduce your strength. I don't know if specters do anything cool. I think they also reduce max HP, maybe? I forget. But ghosts in D&D are just really scary to deal with. Just because they can just do stuff like that. Like reduce you, like a banshee can just reduce you to 0 from full from wherever you are. If you fail a saving throw. They're scary. So we escaped, we ran, we figured out that they don't actually go beyond like their battleground. They just kind of ran out, and then the wizard cast Fireball in there and killed all of them, which would have been really easy to do if we just did that first, but whatever. Live and learn for the next time we find a haunted battleground. But that fight wasn't meant to kill us, even though we almost died. It was meant to soften us up for what was coming next. Because we went and we found a nice little campsite, a couple boulders, you know how it is. And basically that night was the big climax of, I guess, the session, where a dire werewolf, a few wereboars, and swarms of ravens and other werewolves, basically a lot of shit that we, at our current capacity, could not deal with. They strode up to our campsite and like, oh, you're in our forest, you're on our turf, homeboy. Gonna kill you. And we're like, no, So, we had to fight. There's no reasoning with these people. And it was bad. It went bad. Well, let's just say it was going bad. Because, werewolves, our rogue didn't have a magic weapon or a silver weapon. So rogue couldn't damage, like, the big bad, like the rogues are supposed to do. Thankfully, me and the barbarian did, so we were fighting the big guy. But the werewolves, so they're hitting us, and then we got infected with lycanthropy, which is a thing that I suppose we'll have to deal with later. But we're focused on this battle, and it's bad. The barbarian has gone down. I don't know if you noticed, it's bad, bad. The star werewolf, okay. Set the scene, because it was cool and awesome and awesome. I'm at 10 health. Our barbarian has gone down. And the barbarian was the ancestral guardian barbarian or whatever it's called. Or if they're hitting the big bad guy, they give disadvantage on everything else. So that means that the big bad guy and all the other little guys are gonna go after me next, because I'm the only one there. All our little bitches, party members, are in the back because they're spellcasters and whatnot, and have like no health. So I'm a Hexblade Paladin, classic. I'm trying to fuck up this guy, and I have one smite left in my pocket because I used 2 earlier on the Wraith fight, and that was the only one I had left. So I was leaving it in my back pocket, and we needed something big here because I could either heal myself and hope I'd survive, or I could just go for the kill. And so I was like, fuck it, we ball. I swing, I crit. Oh, it's so awesome. And I smite, I do 57 damage, and I kill him. I lop his head off. It was so awesome. It felt so good. Just to know that I am so cool and my party members are so lame. Okay, well, shout outs to party members, they're cool, but let's be real, I'm awesome. I'm really cool. I'm stroking my own ego because it was a really cool moment. It felt really good. I don't know how what our DM was gonna do if we all died there. So I'm glad something like that happened. I like to think that me praying at the shrine to my god earlier, giving an offering, somehow influenced the dice in real life, even though that's not how any of it works. But it's a cool little story. Crit made all of them surrender because I was intimidating with that huge blow. And now we've got to fucking figure out how to cure this lycanthropy before we go crazy and, I don't know, become werebores or whatever it was. I forget. Why are there fucking werebores? Why are there like other things? I'm just a werewolf guy, okay? I'm a traditionalist. I'm not into this werebore shit. I'm a werewolf guy. That's where I stand on that. But that was fun. And now we have D&D, and I guess it would be 12 hours if we're accounting for daylight savings. D&D in 12 hours where we get to go towards the city, I guess. I don't know. D&D campaigns are fun. Sometimes some sessions don't have like these cool moments, but when you get a cool moment, not just a cool moment, but a cool session in general, like the atmosphere and like the battles we fought and all the stuff like that, really fun. And our one member, I think, might still be out for COVID, which sucks, because I want that person to come back and experience this kind of stuff, because it's fun and awesome. Also, they're missing like a lot of school stuff, I guess. I don't know how that works. If you have COVID nowadays and you're going to school, I don't know what you do. I feel like you're kind of just fucked in this situation. Because we're not doing like any online stuff anymore. Well, okay, a lot of sirens are online, but like we're not doing online classes anymore. Because our what is his name? I forget his name, but the governor was like, "Oh, COVID is no more." Classic. COVID abolished. This is awesome. We've really saved society here. Love that guy. Anyways, what am I even talking about right now? I went from D&D to fucking COVID. I guess it's not that big of a stretch to make.
You started talking about politics really fast there.
Call me a big liberal, so I get the big liberals to watch.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
COVID isn't real, so I get the
Okay, but hold
Republicans to
on.
watch,
Oh, you're playing
and
both sides.
I play both sides, so that we get double the views this time. We're going for
Jeez.
130 views. This is huge.
This is going to be huge for us.
Yeah, they're all.
Next thing you know, we'll be monetized.
Yeah, we're gonna make so much money. Do you know the requirements on monetization, by the way?
Yeah, isn't it like 10,000 viewers or like 100,000?
No, no, not that much. It's like 1,000. Well,
Oh, it's
10,000
just a
views, I
thousand.
think. 1,000 subscribers. I know, I
Oh,
haven't
we can
really
get
checked
that.
it much.
Yeah, we can get 1,000 subscribers. That's easy.
Yeah, I mean,
Everyone listening to the podcast, if like y'all recommend us to 10 people, and then we do that like one more time in the next podcast, we'll be done in like a month.
yeah, maybe the podcast isn't the best way to go about it. Maybe I
I
should.
disagree.
I mean, I feel like first and foremost, this is a YouTube channel. And
Yeah,
when I was thinking of doing like the podcast, I was also thinking of doing other videos. And I feel like I kind of thrown those by the wayside just because I'm putting stuff out there. But I do want to do this stuff. It's just now kind of I'm pushing it back because I have to finish something before I do it. And I haven't finished that thing, so, whatever.
yeah, yeah.
We'll get there.
Yeah, we'll get there.
But not now. It's coming someday, this nebulous video idea that I have. But kind of hard to do, I guess.
Yeah,
You
that
know how
makes
it is.
sense.
As an
I know,
avid,
I get it.
I don't know, creator yourself.
I am a very avid content creator. I make so much content.
Yeah,
Please
I
go follow my content, everyone.
I didn't
I'm
mean
not gonna link it though.
content creator in the content sense. I mean just like making, I guess, things using Photoshop and whatever
Oh yeah, I'm a creator in like
in general.
other ways. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Shout outs to creating, all you creators out there.
Yeah, to all you
Please
creators out there, keep creating.
and post this podcast on your Twitter,
Yeah, that too.
especially
We
if
can
you
get
are
monetized.
famous.
Ooh, that'd be huge.
Yeah, famous person. What's our podcast on there? Huge.
Yeah,
Hey, if you hear from a famous person, hey, I love you. Keep watching.
yeah. And if you're famous,
Also love you.
hi.
Big fan of all your work. I love the video where you like did the thing. That was really cool.
Yeah,
Uh,
or the time you starred in that one thing.
yeah, and that one collab with that really cool creator.
Oh yeah, sure.
You could also like reach out to them about this podcast. I'm not picky.
Yeah, one day we're gonna bring some guests on.
Yeah.
Who knows? What if our first guest is like someone incredibly popular and we just go rapidly downhill from there?
Well, I mean, hopefully we would start small and then build up. Because this is what we were talking about before. If we just
Hmm.
fizzle out, then we're screwed.
That'd be so sad. I would cry.
Well, actually, now that you think about it, we could just go huge and then fizzle out. Because
Yeah.
if you're like that Squid Game NFT,
Oh, that's a
yeah,
good idea.
we just get a ton of money at once. And
Yeah,
then,
we're like a dying star. We just like explode in a supernova and then leave nothing behind.
yeah, then it doesn't matter what we do afterwards because we're so rich.
Mhm.
Damn,
Yeah,
we're
I
on to
think
something here.
we could probably keep this up if we had you know, good topics.
Yeah, let me, man, let me
Like bad
say,
topics.
okay, let's retrace our steps a little bit. So we made this into a Discord server just so that no one, pops in on us as we're doing it and then starts talking and then ruins the whole thing. And,
Yeah, who
we
would ever
can,
do that?
yeah, no one would ever do that or leave in the middle of a thing. So it creates a Discord leaving notification.
Yeah,
Speaking,
that would be really weird of them.
okay, hold on, this makes me think that you're gonna leave me.
Hmm?
You would never do that.
Well, actually, now that you mention it, um, I know I put these socks on because it was cold, but now my feet are kind of getting sweaty, so I'm gonna go take
Oh
these
my
socks off.
god.
Yeah, I'll be right back.
It's like cold where you are.
It'll
I've.
take a second. Yeah, but it's warm in my
Oh
room.
my god.
My computer is like it's like a furnace. It's like a sun.
I'll be real. I have no idea how hot it or cold it is where you are, so you could be telling the complete truth right now.
I'll leave that up to mystery.
And that's what the viewers are interpreting. Leave it in your comment below if he's telling the truth or if he's lying. There's our engagement for the episode. We needed something like that. For that, the one person who watched past 2 minutes can comment on that. Anyways, back to bad topics. We made a Discord server, yada yada, and we have a secret topic channel, like topic ideas channel, which are secret topics, and we put a listener suggestions channel. And let me tell you, some of these suggestions, no, not some, all of these suggestions, I would say, are not the best. And I'm trying to sugarcoat it here. But I just don't have a lot to say on vernacular. What am I supposed to say about that? I feel like it needs to be more personal to me, and by having people just suggest random things, it's kind of hard. Because I don't. Bugs aren't. I guess I could say, like, oh, I don't like bugs, but there's not really much I can say beyond that. And I don't really have a lot to say about Bakul or whatever the villain of Sinister is, because I saw that movie like 3 years ago, and I don't remember it that well. And that's about as much as I have to say about that topic. I can't talk about anyone from Evangelion, which I completely butchered that name, I'm pretty sure, because I've never seen it. I can't talk about sleep apnea, because I don't have it. It's just, sorry for the person who is listening and is probably like, what the hell? Why would you say that about my suggestions? I just can't talk about them, I don't think. They're not very good, sorry. Like, I appreciate the enthusiasm in putting suggestions in there. I really do. But I guess I would say I didn't make this server. I'm gonna offload all the blame onto Henry. Um, but I just can't talk about him. And I feel like if I have to brainstorm a bunch of random topics, like throw a dart at a board, just like those video game executives, and find something that, maybe I can talk a little bit about. And I feel like I've been talking too long. I feel like I've been doing it too long, and I will just always stop. And, that's the bitter truth, I know we're joking and whatever about fizzling out and dying, but I don't want to be on episode 200 and be like, anyways, let's talk about Croatia and the socioeconomic climate in there. Because I don't know anything on that. Maybe I can do some research. But then I feel like I'm giving a presentation for school, It just isn't very, I don't know, personal. It isn't what I want out of this. It's not what I feel like my podcast should be. And really, I don't really have a lot to say on bad topics if I'm being honest. Because they're, first of all, they're bad topics, alright? I can't really say a lot because they're bad and they don't have a lot of stuff. But that's just all I wanted to say. Shoutouts to my fans out there who are suggesting topics. Love you. Big fans of your work. But I'm not gonna talk. I'm not gonna talk about poop apnea because it's not a real thing. That doesn't exist. You are lying to me if you even try to claim that that's a real thing. But we can talk about some other stuff, which I guess is more interesting to me. Stuff like I didn't suggest this, but this was suggested by my great co-host. I'm gonna demote him, vice co-host Henry. Facebook becomes meta. Why? What the hell? Why would they do that? I get, like, some companies like Google going to Alphabet. which I guess is also kind of a stupid name, but Meta? Really? Really? I didn't watch his video where he has a bottle of BBQ sauce on the shelf for some reason. I didn't watch that video, but this just seems like a move that doesn't really do anything because their company's still called Facebook, right? Like the product that everyone will know them by is still called Facebook. And I guess it's like the same thing with Google again, where everyone calls them Google instead of calling them Alphabet. Because no one's gonna be like, oh, are you gonna Alphabet something? No, it's how everyone is going to refer them to them is gonna be Google. So I feel like this really doesn't affect, I guess, the average consumer. So why am I even talking about it? I don't know. I need something to talk about. And it's at the very least a mediocre topic. That is not. Let me stall for a moment while I look for a stupid one. The Industrial Revolution and its consequences. And he didn't say anything about the consequences part, but I just wanted to make a awesome reference. Respond in the comments if you know what that reference was. There's my other part of just I need a drink break. I need caffeine. I'm slowing down.
I can take over.
Take over vice co-host Henry. I might promote you again.
Yeah, I got my socks off. We're good. My feet are getting a little chilly though, so we'll see how long that holds up.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see the news about the Garfield movie?
It's fucked up. How can he do this?
Yeah, I'm, I, I'm in shambles.
So, if you haven't heard, Chris Pratt, Garfield. I think you can connect the dots.
I don't know how to feel personally. To anybody wondering, massive Garfield fan myself. I love the guy. Love all the comics. Love all the media that come from it. Really, there hasn't been a bad bit of Garfield yet. And so the idea of more content coming from the Garfield universe is very exciting to me. However, the idea that the future that the next generation will have in terms of every voice actor is voiced by Chris Pratt is a scary one for sure. Plus, Garfield has a very iconic voice, at least in my head. Bill Murray did a great job. I don't know if Chris Pratt will be able to handle it.
Did Bill
What are your thoughts?
Murray voice Garfield in the past?
Yeah,
I didn't know that. That's actually interesting to me.
yeah. He voiced Garfield in the live action Garfield and Garfield Tale of Two Kitties. Um, yeah,
I feel like he fits Garfield a lot more than Chris Pratt. Hey,
yeah.
it's me, Mario. I mean,
y- that one I think is going to be like way different, but
yeah,
I feel like I think Chris Pratt could pull off the Garfield voice just a little bit better.
maybe. But even still, it's like he's going to be every, I guess, 8-year-old child's favorite actor now.
Yeah, I mean, he was a big act. He was like he still is a very
Yeah,
like
I
big
mean he's
actor
in
for a
Marvel
lot of
and
people.
stuff, but
Like he's like an actor who comes with very little controversy. He's just an all-around great guy. I mean, yeah, he was in Marvel. He's done Jurassic Park. He's huge. And plus his story is super cool. Like I don't know if you knew this, but Chris Pratt used to be like actually homeless, like
really,
genuinely impoverished. Yeah, and then he got like a lucky gig with a uh film crew and then moved up and got an acting job and now he's huge. Now he's like probably one of the biggest names in media now.
media
I might argue he's like top 5 at the moment, at least with the current situation that we're in.
with the fucking Mario and Garfield movie, yeah, I'd say that might edge him over number
Yeah.
6.
Yeah, I mean after especially after like the Marvel, like after Endgame ended and all that, like he was huge. That was like Chris Pratt's prime and he hasn't really fallen off that yet.
Yeah, I guess I'm not a movie connoisseur, but I haven't really seen, I guess, many of other movies that he's been in.
He did a great job voice acting in the Lego movie.
Oh, he did. I
He
forgot
did a
about
very good
that.
job there. That was just like that was his voice, you know?
Yeah. But is his voice
Yeah.
the voice of Mario or Garfield?
Uh, mm, I could, as much controversy as I might get for saying this, I could see him doing Garfield. I genuinely could. I think if he did a laxer, regular Chris Pratt voice, then it wouldn't fit as well as Bill Murray or other people who've done it in the past. But I think that for a big name, this is a great choice.
Well,
And then, but for Mario, no, no way.
I guess I'll take it from the Garfield expert.
I mean, I am a resident Garfield expert,
Yeah.
so
No one else would know as best as as you do, so
yeah.
I'll
And
take it from you.
I am sorry to say, but the socks are coming off here,
Oh
so I'm
god
gonna need
damn
a
it.
second.
Thought they already came
Um.
off.
Oh no. Oh, they did come off.
Oh, I'm catching you. You best be
Oh,
watching your back, boy.
what's that behind me? Yeah, the socks are going on though.
Oh god damn it.
Yeah, maybe even 2 layers.
But oh my god.
They got really cold really
You're
fast. You
gonna be
can't blame
so
me.
sweaty. And then you're gonna have to
Yeah,
take them off again.
I
Oh my
think
god.
that the thing that's gonna save our podcast is the fact that we live in the digital age, and so there's so many new things happening all the time.
I feel like I've brought this up.
Yeah, well, I think you said it before we started recording.
Hmm. No. No, I feel
No?
like I said this.
Hmm.
Hey,
I was probably putting on socks while you were saying it, so.
viewers, comment down below if Henry's being a bit stupid right now.
No, please don't do that, please.
Hey, that's our engagement. This is our big break.
That's engagement number 3. God.
The algorithm needs this. It's important to
Um,
the lifeline of this podcast.
did you notice the Roblox damage?
I heard a few things about that, but sorry, I'm not like an avid Roblox, I guess, player.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really notice. But I heard like
Yeah,
Taco Bell and free taco or something.
it was Chipotle.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so you go into the onto the site, I think. There's like some special game you can play. Show up in your little avatar, your little costume, and you get a coupon for a free burrito.
Huh.
Um, which is a pretty cool thing.
Wait,
I like it.
that's like
It's a nice little promotional.
wait, a free burrito?
Yeah,
Oh my god.
a whole free
Oh
burrito
my
from
god.
Chipotle.
That's like
Yeah,
so
it's
free.
crazy. And so very obviously people saw this and everybody jumped on the site at once and they just went crazy.
Hey, if I
And
knew I
it
would
just
have
shut
jumped
the
on
whole thing
too.
down. Yeah. And the weird thing is they've been doing promotionals like this before. Like they did it with Dunkin' Donuts for like a long time. I think they're still doing it, but like something about the new Chipotle thing, it just makes it huge.
Was it like a free Dunkin' Donut or some shit?
It was something like that. Something very way smaller for
Well,
sure, but
it is Dunkin' Donuts and nobody really cares about them.
yeah, I am an avid unenjoyer of Dunkin' Donuts. There's like 0 of them back home where I used to live, but now I'm here in college and they're like around every street corner.
Ah, interesting.
Mm,
I've just yeah, I've heard this a lot, like when my sister goes to college, but I've
yeah,
never I don't think I've been in a Dunkin' Donuts for as long as I've been
I
alive.
I wouldn't recommend it. It's cheap, which is great for a college student, but
Yeah.
it's just not worth it. It tastes like dirt, water.
They should call it Dirt Donuts, I think.
Yeah, true.
Uh well, the time I will say is late. I was
Oh,
hoping that, maybe the savings would come a bit early so I could point it out, but I don't
hmm.
think we'll be able to get there.
you you thought the daylight savings time would come earlier than it has for the past, oh, however many years there's been daylight savings time?
I was hoping.
I'm sorry to tell you.
You can't blame a man for hoping.
Hmm.
But before we wrap up, I do want to say a few things about this podcast.
Oh, getting meta.
Yeah. So, it's a format. I guess we've kind of figured out, like, kind of an idea of what we want it to be. I'm down to try new things. I kind of liked this little part where we're talking a little bit.
Yeah.
And I think talking a little bit like this over, I guess, a podcast, at least a little bit more would be. I would enjoy it. I don't know if you would enjoy it because you're very important. It's very important that you get your socks off or whatever.
Well, obviously, I mean, hey, how about this? Um, we got that, what's it called? Oh, blanking on the name. Listener,
Get that guy on here.
no, not the guy. It's the thing we've done 3 times now. I needed to get it for a fourth. Or the people that are listening to the video comment below. What's it
Oh,
called?
engagement. It's engagement.
Listener engagement. I need to get some of that listener engagement
Yeah,
going.
I'm down. You got any
So,
feedback on? I should probably put this at the start so that people
yeah, viewers,
the 2 minute engagement.
if you got any engagement,
Got any
if you
suggestions? Put it down.
if you want to hear more from Henry, let me know. And if you don't, also let me know.
I might experiment. Might bring a couple
Think,
other people to say a few lines on here.
ooh,
Cause
interesting.
this is like this podcast is like a baby. It's first been
Yeah,
born.
it's gotta grow.
It's gotta learn how to walk. It's gotta
Yeah,
learn how to look at the world around it. Cause it doesn't have
Erica.
object permanence.
True.
And whatever the fucking John Puget had to say about that.
Mm-hmm.
And Eric, now I'm just bringing up psychology things from AP psychology. I need to push that away.
Yeah.
And I just,
Um,
yeah.
before we wrap, I'm gonna plug some music if you don't mind.
Yeah, yeah, go ahead.
Um, we'll probably, if you can, throw this in the description below. Post a link. But friend of ours recently released an album, The Tillerman, on Spotify, iTunes, YouTube, SoundCloud, all those good things. New album, C'est la vie. Um,
Yeah,
need to, yeah. Um,
I'll find it.
very good, very awesome. Go give him a listen. Go give it a like, follow, all those good little bits.
Subscribe.
If enough people
That's on
listen, he might even
Spotify.
get a few dollars. So yeah,
You might
whatever he's
make
about
more
to.
money than we do,
Yeah,
which is
definitely end up.
not
We'll end up
surprising.
having that. Yeah. So at least we could do that.
Yeah, yeah. Helping a friend out. Because it's not a
That's my
friend
plug.
to random listener, but it's a friend
Yes.
to us.
True.
And you might even hear from him if we ever decide to bring him on and his warped idea of what this podcast was correct.
Ooh,
But yeah,
that could be fun.
think any last minute things you want to bring up?
Um, I think that's it for me.
Yeah. Cool. Just
All
to,
right.
I guess, date this, we're signing off on 11/7/2021 at 1:31 and eagerly awaiting daylight savings time.
Gonna need that extra hour.
We're gonna need it. Alright. Goodbye.
Bye.